What is going on, party people? Fmencho here, back at it once again with another edition in Odyssey Week. Right now, we are just 5 days away until Super Mario Odyssey. You can count the days on one hand. 4 days if you count midnight launch, which is just crazy. I cannot believe this game is so soon. You're gonna have to forgive me. I have a pretty bad cold right now. Like, my voice is just really messed up, and I got, like, just a really bad stuffy nose. So you have to forgive me for the condition going onward. The hype is keeping me alive, though. I feel like just a shell for the excitement and hype for this game. Anyway, this edition in Odyssey Week is going to be a little bit different. It is going to be about my personal ties with the Super Mario 3D series. I'm going to be talking about where it all started and where it is now. What does Super Mario Odyssey mean to me? But more importantly, what does it mean to you? Again, I've said this in all of my videos, and I will continue to say this. We are all in this together, so comment down below and give me your stories of the Super Mario 3D series. What was the first game you played? Was it 64? Was it Sunshine? Was it Galaxy? Comment down below. Give me some memories there. I love reading through that kind of stuff. It's fun to talk about these things. The history of a gamer. But yeah, without further ado, I think we should just jump right in. Obviously, the first Mario game, the first 3D Mario game I've ever played is 64, so let's talk about that. So back when I was just a little kid, we didn't have a Nintendo 64. We were a PlayStation 1 household, but there were these two kids that lived next door that had an N64. And sometimes we'd come over and we'd play Super Smash Brothers or something like that, but more importantly, sometimes we would play Mario 64. Now, again, as I mentioned, I was just a little kid. They wouldn't let me play. I would just have to sit down and watch. They were kind of jerks, not gonna lie. But I remember one time they left the room. They went off to go eat lunch or go do something, and they just left the controller there and they left the game on. And of course, I picked the controller up. But I didn't play through any levels. No Bomb Battlefield, no Dire Docks, no Womp's Fortress, no. I was just walking around the outside of Peach's castle. And I remember just being so blown away by the freedom that the game gave you. Just the open space of it all. And again, I mentioned that I had a PS1. I've played 3D games before, but all of those games were very constricting and very dark and honestly, very hard to control. This game was just a breeze. It was just an absolute joy to move around this 3D space. I remember seeing the trees and the water, the bridge and everything. It was just, as a kid, given that freedom in a game, it meant a lot. It really did. It was unlike anything I've ever played before. And of course, eventually they came back in the room and was like, hey, what are you doing? Like, stop playing the game. And they took the controller away from me. And that kind of hurt me a little bit, not gonna lie. But way later on, a few years later, of course, I got the chance to actually play through the entire game. And as of right now, it is probably my favorite game of all time. I love this Mario title. I love the world that it created. I love the soundtrack. I love Peach's castle, the paintings, the stars. I love everything about Mario 64. It means so much to me. And when I found out that Odyssey was going to be harkening back to those old days of the 64, it really just put a smile on my face. So yeah, that is my memories with Nintendo 64, with Mario on the Nintendo 64. Next up, we're entering the GameCube era of things. Now, I actually owned a GameCube, so this one's a little bit different than the Mario 64 story. Now, I remember coming home from GameStop with Mario Sunshine in my hand, getting home, popping it in my GameCube, and then the adventure began. Now, I know a lot of people don't particularly like Sunshine because of how much of a departure it was from 64, but I love Sunshine. I actually really appreciate the changes and the things they did to this game to set itself apart from 64. I really like that. I think it was a bold move by Nintendo there, not just to make the same game and just add new levels. No, they wanted to make a brand new game, and it totally pays off, in my opinion. Where do I even begin with Sunshine? I have such fond memories of this game. Just the world itself. Delfino Plaza, just walking around that area, talking to Piantas. The Yoshi in this game, I have such fond memories of Yoshi, just like giving him fruit. All the different levels, Peanut Park, just Serena Beach. I love all the levels in this game. The music, just everything just comes to life. Delfino to me was the star of that game, and it's what really just like, that's what has the place in my heart. It's just that plaza and just that world that they created. And again, it was so bold for Nintendo to just keep the game in this one secluded place. I mean, there is level diversity, but it's all relatively around this same barrier, and it worked out very well. Again, the freedom in this game, I don't think any other 3D platform was really doing it at the time. I think I don't know if Jak and Daxter was out at the time. I mean, that game did, you know, that game made a difference to me. But this game, again, was just so open, and the graphics in this game were just so fantastic. They were the best I've seen at the time. I just remember walking around. I remember the level with the wigglers on the little sun panels, on the solar panels, sun panels. I remember the wigglers on there and having to defeat them and seeing the reflection move around. That's incredible. I still don't see that in games. So yeah, Sunshine was just awesome. I remember staying up late, playing it with my brother. I remember beating the game with him. It was a good game, and I really, it has, again, all these games have a special place in my heart, but Delfino has a special place in my heart, and I hope eventually we will go back there. Next, we're talking about the Nintendo Wii. Now, I actually didn't own Super Mario Galaxy. I had The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, but I remember going over to a friend's house and seeing that he didn't have Twilight Princess, but he had Galaxy. So I suggested that we make a trade, and a trade we made. We borrowed the game for a couple of weeks, each of us, and we just played through it over the summer. It was a good time. I remember just, after playing it, going outside and just hanging out with him and just talking all about it, like, how do you beat this boss in Zelda, or you know, this crazy level in Galaxy, and just talking about it. It was a very fair trade, and looking back on it, it was a good time. It was a good time for sure. And oh boy, Galaxy was a fantastic game, and again, a departure from the previous Mario title. This one was a little bit more linear. It was more about the gameplay and the platforming of it all, and that was a good thing. I think it really paid off in that sense. Nintendo continuously breaking that mold in Mario 3D titles, and yeah, I absolutely love Galaxy. But what has even a bigger hold on my heart is Super Mario Galaxy 2. Now, I remember moving to California. I'm in New York right now. I've been all over the place. But I remember moving to California, being kind of low on money. Not gonna lie, we were kind of barely making it by. We actually lived in a motel, like a just awful place, and we had a 360. I just remember playing GTA 4 and just hanging out with my brothers all day in this stupid motel. And my birthday was coming up, and I didn't really think much of it because I figured, you know, we don't have too much money, you know, I don't want to ask my mom for anything, so we'll keep it on the DL this year. We'll keep it on the DL. But somehow, I don't know how she did this, but she surprised me with Super Mario Galaxy 2 for my birthday. And I think I cried. I actually think I did. Super Mario Galaxy 2 is the better game. I think it is better than Galaxy. I know a lot of people for some reason like Galaxy more. I think it's just kind of a nostalgia thing. I think a lot of people's first 3D Mario game is Galaxy, but Galaxy 2 just improved on everything. It added so much more. I was blown away by Galaxy 2. I mean, just the gameplay was so good. Introducing Yoshi in there, all the different power-ups, the difficulty spike towards the end of the game. It was just awesome. It was just such a good game, and I will never forget that. I will never forget that time my mom got me Galaxy 2 for my birthday. Even though I was like, no, don't get me anything, it's fine. It meant a lot to me. It really did. Yeah, I mean, the Wii was a pretty strong console for 3D Mario titles. I mean, it had two there. I mean, they're both relatively the same. I remember actually being slightly disappointed that it was Galaxy 2 and not a brand new Mario game, but Galaxy 2 turned out to be really, really good, so now at this point, I don't really care. So now we're here, and Super Mario Odyssey is just 5 days away. I can't believe it. And I remember something that Koizumi said, one of the lead producers on this game. He mentioned earlier this year that this game is going to be harkening back to the old days of Super Mario. He's talking 64 and he's talking Sunshine, and he even name dropped them and mentioned the freedom that those games have given us and how he wants to take that freedom and insert it into Odyssey. And that's what really excites me, because it's been so long since we've had that big expansive type Mario game. I mean, even Galaxy, I mentioned, had that linear path. 3D World was nothing of the sort. So it's been since 2002, since Mario Sunshine, since we've had those big worlds. And it looks like this game, Odyssey, is going to be even bigger than that. And that's what really excites me. Like, that's what really gets me into this game. I mentioned, you know, in all the previous games that I've talked about, that they've all given me these special memories to hold on to through the OST or the world or just the way the game is played. And I really want that to happen with Mario Odyssey. That's something that Nintendo, I feel, does really well, is just making their games super memorable, and I don't think Odyssey is going to be any exception to that. I think it's just, it's Odyssey, and I can't believe it's here. Like, I can't believe we're just 5 days away from playing this game. It looks wondrous, it really does. And even just earlier this year with Zelda Breath of the Wild, playing through that game, seeing the freedom that they gave you in that game, literally probably the most freedom I've ever seen in any game, and they're doing it again with this. Is this like a theme that Nintendo is having right now, where it's just like, you know what, we're just gonna put you in these worlds and you're just gonna go? And that's amazing. I really, really like that. Even in Mario Odyssey, like, just, you're in Toast Arena, there's no rules, there's no arrows, I mean, there's a loose direction here and there, but other than that, just have fun, go, and that's incredible. I love that type of level design, to be able to explore these worlds freely, and pick up these moons in any order that you'd like. That's cool. That is just awesome. As you can tell, I'm very excited for this game. I've mentioned in previous videos, I've mentioned like 10 times just in this video alone, this is the most I've ever been excited for a game, because of the promise that Koizumi has made, because of the things that I've seen in this game, the worlds that I've seen, the kingdoms, the gameplay. It's coming soon, and I am just over the moon. I really am, and that's not even a reference there. I'm not even trying to be coy there. I am absolutely over the moon for Odyssey. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have to say. Do you think in the next like 10 years we'll be looking back and talking about Super Mario Odyssey and just being like, oh my god, remember Odyssey, one of the best Mario games of all time? I'm curious, because again, that's what Nintendo does so well, and I feel like that's what a lot of developers kind of fail at. They don't make their games very, very memorable. Like, I don't remember, you know, games that came out 5 years ago. I'm not going to remember this current Call of Duty, you know, Call of Duty World War II. I'm not going to remember that game 10 years from now. I'll probably be talking about the new Call of Duty because they come out every single year. So, again, that's what Nintendo does best, is just making those memorable games. And I'm not saying that other studios don't make memorable games. That is, I have a PS4, I play other games, I love other games. I'm picking up Wolfenstein later too. So, like, there's other games that I really, really love, but Mario Odyssey, just Mario in general, has a special place in my heart. And I can't wait to play it. And again, comment down below and give me your memories with the Mario series. I talked about 64, I talked about Sunshine, I talked about Galaxy, even a little 3D World. What was your first 3D Mario game? Give me the story in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. I'm sorry this video was just a little... I'm sick. Like, my throat just hurts so bad right now. It took me so long to record this because of just, like, how my voice was just... It just kept cracking over and over again, and I couldn't express... It was just a mess, and I'm so sorry if that's noticeable at all in this video. I will try to heal up. I will take some medicine. I will be healed before this game comes out. I promise. And I will be there at midnight launch, by the way. If anyone else is showing up, and you're watching this video right now and you live in the New York area, come meet me. Seriously, that's totally awesome. I'd love to meet you guys. I know I don't have that kind of following where it would warrant, you know, like a big meetup or anything, but, you know, if you are watching this video and you happen to be in the New York area and you want Mario Odyssey, come by Nintendo NYC. We can wait in line together. It'll be super hype. I know there's a bunch of other YouTubers there right now, so yeah, thumbs up for that. 5 days. One hand. 4 days if you count midnight launch. I am just absolutely... I don't even know. The hype is healing me. I hope it's healing you too. Let's get through this week together. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.